Hello and welcome. My name is Zeb Hartline, Executive Chef here at Houston Country Club in Houston, Texas. Today we are going to be doing one of our breakfast dishes, the barbecue brisket hash, utilizing the combi ovens that you see behind me. Today we're going to use it to poach eggs, and it's currently being used as a hot holding unit in one of our combi ovens. Rationale combi ovens are a perfect tool for any kitchen. They bake, broil, steam, sous vide, and even smoke, and a whole list of other items that the Rationale combi oven can really do. We have them in all of our kitchens here and highly suggest them in yours. So please join me in creating today's dish as we do our barbecue brisket hash. All right, so as we get started today, our barbecue brisket hash, we're gonna go over the ingredients. Here we have some diced onion, garlic, red bell pepper, roasted poblano pepper, and green onion. The poached eggs that we're gonna do come from Cedar Ridge here in Texas. So it's a family-owned farm that we get our eggs from, about 4 hours away. Our brisket that we're gonna utilize today is Akaushi beef from Heart brand beef. Absolutely love this product. I would highly encourage anyone that hasn't tried Akaushi beef, please try it. Do yourself a favor. It's amazing. And then we have 0 Point Organics micros that we're going to be using for our dish later on as garnish. But let's get started with dicing up some red bell pepper. So we're just going to cut the rib out of the red bell pepper. Now that we have the red bell pepper, we'll move on to the poblano. And next, we're going to bring the brisket out of the oven and show you how it turned out. All right, now we have our Akaushi beef brisket that we've smoked overnight. The one thing that we're going to do is we're going to take some of the burnt ends and use the burnt ends as our brisket in this barbecue brisket hash. Now that we have our nice and tender, juicy barbecue brisket burnt ends. All right, and before we can get started on our hash mixture, what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on our poached eggs. So let's take our poaching liquid, that is 1% distilled vinegar to water. Take a couple of our Cedar Ridge Farms cage-free eggs. I like doing them in a little dish, that way you can make sure that you don't get any shells in your poaching liquid. Into the poaching liquid they go, and then now we're going to stick this in the Rationale at 180 degrees, full steam, for about 6 to 6.5 minutes. Now that we have our eggs in the Rationale and they're poaching, what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the stove and then work on our brisket hash. So we're going to get started with a little bit of Texas extra virgin olive oil. Now the base for the dish is a smoked Gouda grits, which we had cooking off to the side here. Nice creamy and rich little smokiness to go along with the brisket. First we're going to add the onions. Then the bell pepper.
Yep.
So we're gonna let this cook down just a little bit until the onions are translucent. Add a little bit of that garlic. Next, the poblano pepper. What you're doing is you're building that flavor and that depth throughout the dish. The bell pepper is going to give it a little bit of crunch. Nice smokiness from the roasted poblanos. Always being sure to stir the dish so none of the garlic or the onions burn. You're still going to get that nice caramelization on there. This is where we bring in the brisket. Let all those flavors combine. We've had our beef stock steeping in herbs and garlic, and so now we're going to add that to the dish. Wow, the fragrance of that beef stock. Now that we've deglazed with the beef stock and the vegetables are nice and caramelized, what we're going to do is we're going to cut off the heat. Add a little bit of our green onion. All right, now that all the flavors are blended, let's go over to our table. All right, and now that we have all of our components ready to go, let's put together our dish. First, we're going to start off with a base of our smoked Gouda grits. Next, we're going to add the brisket hash. Then we're going to bring in our poached eggs that we poached for 6.5 minutes into the rationale. All right, now that we have this put together, we're going to add a little bit of barbecue sauce here. This is our house-made barbecue sauce. It's an ancho agave. A little sweet, a little tangy. Little petite mustard greens. I like going with the mustard greens in this dish because it adds a little bit of spice, a little bit of pepperiness to the dish. All right, and there you have it. We have our barbecue brisket hash that we have here on our breakfast menu, utilizing the Rationale combi ovens and our smoked barbecue brisket, smoked Gouda grits, and 2 poached eggs on top. Hope you enjoy and see you again.